Thank you for tuning in to Tech Trends, the show that takes you on the ride in 25 minutes to seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa. On our lineup this week, Joshua Adbola, founder of Josh for Tech, becomes the youngest in Africa to get certified as an Amazon Web Services Cloud Practitioner at the age of 13. Plus, I chat with Dayo Adesoya, a tech consultant on Africa's adoption of artificial intelligence and why the technology is quite limited on the continent. Welcome to the program. I am Olayemi Utunuga. Cloud computing offers individuals access to data and applications from nearly any point of access to the internet. It offers businesses a whole new way to cut costs for technical infrastructure and offers big computer companies a potentially giant market for hardware and services. Joshua Adbola is a 13-year-old programmer, future skills activist, and the founder of Josh for Tech, a young enterprise that provides knowledge and skill empowerment services as well as web solutions to businesses and individuals. He is passionate about advocating for the early teaching of tech skills to young people, and he recently got certified as an Amazon Web Services Cloud Practitioner, becoming the youngest in Africa to achieve the feat at his age.
I'm Joshua Adbola. I am a programmer, speaker, and a YouTuber, and I'm also a future skills activist, and I love tech.
Meet one of Nigeria's youngest tech CEOs, passionate about advocating for the early teaching of tech skills to young people. Joshua Adbola is a young tech genius who started coding at the age of 6. Now at 13 years, he's quite comfortable programming in a number of languages and frameworks.
We played it to go play stuff because the platform was old.
He was first featured on Tech Trends in 2020, the year of the COVID-19 pandemic, when he continued to innovate and create content that suited the times. He tells us what he's been up to since then.
So after that, around that time is when I won the MTN Pulse Hackathon. And for the Kaguka app I built. I also won the Indomie Heroes Award, and I was the best in the intellectual category. So I've been up to a lot, and I started learning data science, which I spent some of my time doing. A project I've been working on, apart from the Kaguka, which is one of my web projects I've worked on for the longest, I also worked on a square word remover and image classifier. And I've also spent most of my time working on Kaguka version 2. Because, well, for instance, there's Kaguka version 1, the calculation version 1.5, and this is the newest version I'm working on. And I have to basically rebuild it from scratch in another framework and language. So it's really taking a lot of time. And I'm working with a team member. So it takes a lot of time to build it from the ground up because I have to use a different language. So I also have to learn how to better implement that language to work because I used a particular language before and I want to use this language. So it's really taking a lot of my time. So I've been putting more of my effort into that project.
Joshua is of the opinion that adults keep underestimating children, which is one of the reasons he says he's working hard to provide knowledge and skill empowerment services through his company, Josh for Tech. He likes to inspire young people to embrace technology and doesn't see a reason why there are age limits for children that want to be empowered.
Josh for Tech is basically a company that provides tech and knowledge skills. So what I'm actually focusing on is providing tech skills through my YouTube channel. I'm also working on creating other training services to teach young children, not just children, but also youth tech skills. On how Josh for Tech has been doing, it has been progressing in empowering individuals. I feel that most times people underestimate what kids can do. Because recently I was about to sign up for a Udacity ALX course to also improve my skills in cloud computing, and they flagged 18+. And I want kids to be able to have a type of skill that is compared to the other. I don't want kids to be restricted in what they can learn. I want them to delve deeper. I also want to help my peers. There's always knowledge to be learned. I don't know why the age restriction is there, but I always encourage that kids should learn more than they are expected to learn and go beyond their brief and continue to empower themselves. So Just for Tech is also have a YouTube channel, which I'm trying to grow. I want to reach 5,000 subscribers, so I want to surpass that level. I'm working on content creation, on creating content that can be more educational and can help to teach people a thing or two. That's the point. The point is that
Joshua's parents have been quite supportive of his tech career. His mum, Henrietta Adbola, takes us through the journey of how it all began.
Wow, that's quite a while. We first of all noticed when he was much younger that he liked to sing. We used to hold this chicken bone and sing around, and then so the starting point was okay. We said, oh, he likes music, so we tried to enroll him for piano lessons, and also he learned piano very early. I think from age 5 or so, started learning how to use the piano, and that also helps, with the motor ability to be able to type and all of that. So with the piano lessons, he delved also into coding. There was a time that his elder sister, who is practically 7 years older than him, had to go for a coding school. And then, since there were just 2 of them at that point, now there are 3, but he couldn't be left at home. So he had to go along with her to this coding school. And then I think it was going to be 6, 5.5 going to 6. And we had to ask them to create a curriculum for him. And they did. And that's actually the starting point of his coding career.
For a 13-year-old with a promising tech career, Joshua says it was initially a struggle for him to stay focused on tech while going to school. But he says he's found a way to do both.
It's been a bit challenging, but I've actually found the balance that I need. As well, thanks to my parents, they helped me to find the balance and they helped me to nurture my skills while also building me in my academics. Sometimes I have to meet. Sometimes I go, for instance, when I go to school and then I come back, I find my time to focus on my tech skills and build it.
Earlier on in his secondary school, we had to come up with discussing with the school, and they gave us time for him to be able to, mix it with the schooling activities, and then when he had to go into boarding school, we had to kind of focus on school, right? And then maybe during holidays, he spends time on his projects. So somehow that impacted even his YouTube channel, because he had to take breaks of it. I mean, when you're in school, you just can't record, you can't do things, and then when you're on holiday, so he's been to try and balance that, both at school and, doing his tech things, and of course during holidays. And, once they come, during school time and after school time, you're able to find more time to give up. But once you're a little bit older than you were much younger, you'll be able to find that balance, have a timetable and be able to work with that timetable. So he's been able to find the balance.
Despite all of Joshua's achievements, he still strives to accomplish more. After passing the AWS Cloud Practitioner test, Joshua is the youngest in Africa to get certified as an Amazon Web Services Cloud Practitioner at the age of 13.
I've known about cloud computing for a while. It was one of the upcoming technologies and one of the technologies that would define the 4th industrial revolution, the tech revolution. So I've known about it for a long time, but it was until recently that I wanted to implement a particular database into one of my apps. I wanted to use a database called MongoDB. So what MongoDB is basically a document-oriented database. Don't let me bore you with the details, but it's a document-oriented database for storing high volumes of data, basically. And I wondered, okay, how can someone store data in the cloud? Is it that they have a data center they're storing it, that they provide? And that drove my curiosity. And that made me want to learn more. It was until recently that my dad actually encouraged me to take the exam, which was the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, to actually build my knowledge into knowing about the cloud computing services. So what happened was that I entered the room, so I sat down for the exam. And so so they make it so adrenaline inducing. So you sit down and they just tell you that you passed. They don't even tell you your score. You do the exam, they will load screen, you have a loading screen for 15 seconds. They just show you that you passed. When I did, I was like, because the exam was not, and I didn't want to waste the money my parents spent to pay for the exam. So when I heard, I was excited. I went to trick my mom and say, "Mommy," I was doing a very low voice. After that, I passed, and they were very excited.
Joshua's latest feat is one that his parents are very much proud of, and his mom speaks of his tenacity.
He's a very inquisitive boy. I'm sure you can see that. He likes to research a lot. You know, it's not something that you push him to do. It's something that comes out of him naturally, that he wants to research, find information, delve into things. So he's always had a very inquisitive mind. So, and I've seen that work for him so well, because even while trying to do his coding, he would try and create projects by himself. In fact, all the time, he created like several projects in a row. He would just destroy them, do another one, destroy. He was always very, very inquisitive to do things. And that also helped him, you know, because at times people think that coding is very hard. But the thing is that if you present something to a child, because they're tabula rasa, you present it to the child and you present all the information, especially him, he grabs everything. He studies, but I think he's self-motivated, you know, so he doesn't get pushed down by the loads of work. He will take it, read it, and if he finds a problem, oh my gosh, until he finds a solution, he's not sleeping. So he's always very proactive about things like that.
Joshua Bola sees the countless possibilities of using technology to solve so many challenges in the world. And he is determined to showcase what young people are capable of doing and to also show that there are great talents in Africa.